Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Chair Yoga and Meditation. We're going to start our practice standing up. So just for a moment, though, before you move in that direction, I wanted to notify you that this is going to be a pretty active practice. There's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of fun. I want to emphasize joy and vitality today. Also, because it is a little stronger practice, I want to remind you of the Guru Dev. Do you remember that? That saying, the Guru Dev is like your inner teacher. It is the guide within. Guru translating as teacher. So remember that you are in charge, and that things like creating better stability for yourself, pacing yourself, stopping when you need to, how many repetitions you choose to do of a various thing, all of that, I have to rely on your Guru Dev for that. And I just want to encourage you, whether I have made any mention of a certain idea for stability, for example, and I want you to trust that you can find your own stability. You'll be able to just make an adjustment, find something that gives you better confidence in what you're doing. So we're trusting on that. I am trusting the Guru Dev today to be your teacher as well. Okay, so let's begin standing up. Let's get our block between our legs because we're starting in mountain pose. Just for a moment of setting intention. So slightly bending the knees, squeezing that block between your lower legs, turning your palms to face forward, arms, of course, right alongside the body. Kind of lean yourself into the imaginary wall. So you feel like you're very upright, that your head is well aligned with your spine. Setting your particular intention. It just occurred to me that I wanted to use a different mudra today. And that one is this, that you bring your fingers to what's called the lotus mudra. It's the thumbs are together, the pinky fingers come together as well as the butt of your hands, and your fingers just spread out like petals of a flower. So I always consider this a container. It's always done, or often, as right up against the heart center here, right up against your chest bone. So that's the mudra I'm going to ask us to use as we set our particular intention. So take a big breath or two, bring your hands into that receptive vehicle there, that receptive space, and draw into yourself what it is you need from this practice. Eyes closed, good way to just focus on what you're doing, what you're experiencing, what you need. And we use this particular mudra. And so it is. Inhale with me, palms come together, we lift up. Exhale, bow at your heart. Inhale, back up. And exhale, use a big sweeping action of your arms to come down and around. Block is no longer needed. Place your feet in the space that feels the most stable for you. So you might start with just the hips distance apart, but as we start going, if you feel like I need a little more space, be sure to offer yourself that kind of stability. This is a fun one we haven't done often. This is called the breath of joy. So we're going to start with that, and it looks like this. You take an inhale with your arms coming forward. You take another inhale, opening wide, and there's a third inhale lifting up, and the exhale comes all the way down. It's kind of noisy. Inhale, 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 ha, in more, in and ha, 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 one more, ha. Excellent. Now, find that movement that we often do when we start by just swinging the arms. And remember, there's got to be some buoyancy in your knees. Start to stretch from you feel the waistline moving, and there's the movement of the hips, finding the rhythm in your body. And we're going to do a stretch. So you're going to just swing those arms up. So right arm and right leg, or left arm and left leg, doesn't matter, is reaching up and straightening out. And the other arm, whatever feels creative and right for you, and your gaze, your drishti, also up to you. I like to look up, breathing in, breathing out, stretching one side of the body particularly. You can feel the, notice the expansion, and we'll swing over to the other side. Steady it, steady with your feet. Grab hold of the chair whenever you might need to. Big extension on the other side of the body. Good. Let's bring palms together overhead for our inhale. Exhale, bow. Inhale up. Exhale, open the heart. Let's do that again. Inhale up. Exhale, bow. Up and open the heart. Beautiful. Now let's come into what's a version of cat and cow. I turn to the side. You won't need to do that. I just wanted you to see. We're going to have knees bent, hands are on our thighs on the fleshy part. And keep, if you're having a hard time stabilizing your legs, that's where the block might be useful, that you kind of squeeze into the block so your legs feel that action of drawing in will stabilize for you. This cat and cow is almost entirely done with the pelvis, the movement of the pelvis. Your shoulders and your head will really not move much at all. So don't try to include that. The movement is tilt the pelvis, exhale, tuck the pelvis. So you're really doing your movement through the lower part of the spine. Just stabilize your hands on your fleshy part of your thighs. So really a tilt and a tuck. Keep going. Try to find the breath movement. You're connecting breath with the movement. Inhale, tilt. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, tilt. Exhale, tuck. Set your pace, your breath will guide you with the pace. Stay with it. Loosening up now through the spine by way of the pelvis movement. Last one, tilt and tuck. And we'll make our way to standing all the way up. But inhale with me. Exhale, bow at the heart. Inhale up and open that heart. Excellent. Lose the block for now. It could be anywhere you might want it. And we're going to come to the side of the chair. So if you're facing the chair, the leg that goes up on it is the one that's on the outer edge, not the one near the backrest, but you want your leg that's on the outer side. So let's just start with that and start moving forward and back. I've got my standing leg fairly close to the chair. That, of course, is a variable. You'll decide where that feels best for you. Another thing I want you to try and introduce a little more depth to this is by bringing yourself closer to the chair seat. So instead of keeping your body very upright and the movement is simply forward and back, upright, see if you can get deeper, bringing your body closer toward the chair seat and then move around. It's just whatever you can find in movement, and including rolling your foot toward the pinky edge, because boy, you'll discover a whole different version of this movement when you roll onto the pinky edge of your foot. When you do that, just a little tip, really press that down into the chair seat. That side of your foot needs to really ground into the chair seat so it stabilizes your ankle. Keep going. Try to get more circular movement. Doesn't feel quite so linear. See if you can get a little more circular movement of your hips. Find your breath. Excellent. Now let's center our foot on the chair seat, kind of center it. Now we're going to maybe hop back a little bit with the back leg. So you decide if you're trying to find a little more space there, if it's available between your feet, there's a little more space. Now it's just going to be a real deep bend into that front leg, that leg that's up there on the chair. You're going to come into a deep bend. Let's hold it in its bent knee position and extend now. Keep your hand on your thigh. So you've got that same side hand on that leg so that the other hand is able to lift up. I put a mitten hand on, pull the thumb back. This is that big, long extension of the same arm and leg. Your back leg is straight, no bend. The arm now, straight, no bend. And then you keep pushing your pelvis forward toward the chair a little bit. Make sure the foot on the floor is very grounded, very connected. Same with the foot that's on the chair seat. Feels very connected, very grounded. Full breath in and out. Your drishti, where you're looking, up to you. That's a way of steadying yourself. Beautiful. Let's come down nice and easy, very mindfully, getting your hand back down. And we'll get both feet to the floor. Take a little shimmy around. We're going to stay on this side. And bringing our hands to our chair seat, come a little closer. This is what's the tabletop position. So you've got your wrists and your shoulders lined up, stacked. Your shoulders are right above where your wrists are. Let's take that same outside leg and draw some circles with that knee. Bent knee comes out and away, and we draw circles going both directions. Find your breath. I like to turn and look at it. That's the way I like to move my head and shoulders in this one. Coming back to neutral, bring your gaze back to the chair seat and just extend that leg straight back for a one-legged balance. It's a three-point balance, meaning your hands are still helping you balance. But in terms of the leg, one leg is holding your body weight. Push back through the sole of that extended leg, that foot. Excellent. Let's bring that foot to the floor. And now try a little squat. Heels in, toes out as you squat your pelvis down. Hold your squat. Breathe in, breathe out. Come back up nice and slow. And let's try a standing back bend. So make sure your feet are now parallel to one another. It's like setting up for mountain pose. Mitten hands on, we're going to lift up. This is a standing back bend. Squeeze the block between your legs. I don't have a block, so I've got to imagine it right now. You could grab that block to stabilize your low back by squeezing the thighs together and pull up and back with your extended arms. Standing back bend. Excellent. Very slowly and mindfully bring yourself back down. We're not done with this side. Let's get our hands back to the chair seat like the tabletop. That same leg is going to extend back. So it's at hip height if possible, toes pointing down. Here's what I wanted to suggest. You've got your backrest here. You might put your other arm, the opposite arm from the extended leg, up onto the backrest to steady you. That's a nice alternative for this balance. The other one is, the more, I guess, challenging one, is that we use that straight arm to reach out. So we've got opposite limbs extended, and the other limbs, the opposite limbs, are stabilizing. Find your breath. Full breath in and out. Excellent. Get your hand back to the chair. Get your foot back to the ground. Very mindfully bending the knees, bringing yourself back up to standing. Let's flip-flop around. And we're going to move to the other side. Side two, we want the same thing for the other leg. When you're ready, get your other foot back onto the chair. Again, how close you've got the foot that's on the floor, that's up to you. So you feel stable. And we're going to start moving. So like I said, we could keep it upright, pretty upright with the upper body, or you can get a little deeper into it by bringing your hands onto the chair seat, and maybe including that roll to the pinky edge of the foot. But remember to press down when you're doing that. Really connect that foot to the chair so you stabilize your ankle. This is as fluid and as circular in nature as you can do it. Keep that nice steady breath. Notice the breath. Notice, of course, the sensation in your body. That's the language of the body. When it's trying to communicate to you, it's a felt experience. Good. Let's come back upright using the back of the chair to support you. This is where we want to make sure we have chosen that widest extension as we can, getting that foot on the floor as far away from the chair as we feel safe with, so we can pulse forward and back into a deep bend into that front knee. For those of you who are always looking for challenge, don't use the support of the chair, for example, and that you're balancing and using your core strength to keep you in motion here. Find the breath. Let's pulse forward. Hips are forward. We got a very bent knee. And let's get our hand on our thigh to stabilize. The opposite bend, the other arm is going to reach up. So you have a fully extended arm, and the fully extended leg matching up. I've got my mitten hand on there, of course, and we're lifting the chest and pulling back with our arm to create a bit of a back bend. But primarily, this is a psoas stretch. Breathe in, breathe out, steady. Notice your feet and how you're grounded by kind of pressing a little more awareness into that. Beautiful. And you come down mindfully, getting a hold of the chair, getting that foot off of the chair seat. Maybe a little movement side to side, a little reset. Anything that seems appropriate. And then we're bringing ourselves back to that tabletop position. So we've got our hands on the chair seat. Our shoulders, of course, are lined up right over those wrists. And we're going to take that other knee, we're on side 2 here, and we're going to move it, circling around. And when we come back to center, we're going to extend that leg straight back. Move your gaze so you're looking straight down at your chair seat. One-legged balance. It's a 3-point balance, but one leg. See if you can lengthen through your spine. So you're really trying to create that tabletop extension of your spine. Beautiful. Let's get that foot to the floor now and take a little wider stance. And let's offer a little reset by squatting. Heels in, toes out works best for the bend of the knee. Hold your squat whenever you're ready for that, to just squat down and kind of hold that. I find myself always sort of in motion, like rocking a little bit. Come back up, get your butt way back so your knees are happy. And let's make our way to standing. Take a moment for your reset here. I just noticed I need to really allow my body to adjust, catch up with my breath. And we'll do the standing back bend. So squeeze the block, either use it or imagine it. So you're stabilizing your low back, and let the arms lift up, full extension, and find that back bend as you pull your arms back and you feel a little arch through the back. Remember how we sometimes located a root in our tailbone? This would be a good time. Root through that imaginary tailbone extending down, down, down. So you feel even more stability. Excellent. Let's come back down. Arms are coming floating back down. We're not done yet. We're still here. Let's get ourselves back into that tabletop. That same leg is going to extend straight back. And I'm using the backrest to sort of bring me into the next step. That leg, of course, is extended at hip height and the toes are pointing down. You can always look underneath yourself and just see what you're doing. For those of you who want the next level, remember that's the extended arm. So you've got, I think this is called the bird dog in kind of common parlance here. So you're extending opposite limbs and you're stabilized by the other limbs. Find the fullness of your breath. Beautiful. Hands come back to the chair seat, foot comes back to the floor. Bend the knees, bring yourself up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. And let's flip around a little bit. One last thing to do before we come into our seated position, and that's just to find perhaps proximity to the chair. I don't think is very important, but you choose where you want to be because we're just going to do some movement. Turn your hands so the palms are up, just showing you what I'm talking about. And that's how you'll make your fist, is palms up. And we start by pulling that in and then flip your hands so palms are facing down. So the extension back. So you're moving your hands always from palms up to palms down. It sounds like a bigger deal than it actually turns out to be when you get the rhythm of that. And the reason that I'm being fussy about it is because it does turn the arm bones in a certain way, and that's kind of helpful. Now, I want to add something. I always have to have a Kleenex. Is a mantra. The mantra Ananda Hum is one for joy. It's one for cultivating joy, welcoming joy, I guess is how they call it or translate. So Ananda Hum could be just another fun way to experience this movement. Ananda Hum, you can say that to yourself. Ananda, just how it sounds. So don't worry, like, what's that word? Just however it sounds to you. Ananda Hum. Ananda Hum. Now, see if you can get a little rhythm. You're offering up some movement. You're not locking your knees. Ananda Hum. I got one more thing to add. Last time here. Okay, let's stay with that same movement. What we're going to do is a little different, a little more challenging. As we do that curl of the biceps with our palms facing up, I want you to see if you can bring your knee up. Here, I'm going to give you a side view. So the knee extends up just a bit and the standing leg also bends. So you both legs have a little bend, one more so than the other. Ananda Hum. Little bend. Take some balance. So I want you to stare at something. And if, throwing in those words is like, please, Julie, that's plenty up for us to do. Skip it. See if you can do the balance. Little bend of the knee of the standing leg. I'm going to switch sides because I just want to be illustrate for you of proximity to the chair, I guess. So let's try it over here. We just did the movement with the straight legs and we're just finding our Ananda Hum. We got it. Now we're going to go to the other leg is doing the lift. I always like my standing leg near the chair. That's kind of why I switch sides. So there's a bend in the standing leg as well. Bend in that leg, that knee. Find your breath. Last time. Well, let's make this the last time. All the way down. All right. Let's flip the chair. Flip the chair so you've got access to the back and extend that out now to an extended forward fold. This time, if you can, if you've got that ability on your chair, to put your hands in the mitten hand position. So it's the pinky edge, the outside edge is what's making contact with the chair. Tuck that chin in towards your throat. Make sure your feet are straight, they're parallel to one another, and work toward, you might not start with this, work toward a straightening through those knees. If you can, stretching through the hamstrings, stretching through the calves, flat back. Pull in the belly. Let's walk toward the chair, come up nice and easy. Let the body adjust. Inhale with me. Exhale, bow at the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, open the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, bow. Inhale up and open the heart, little back bend. Last time. Open the heart. Excellent. All right, we're coming to seating this into our seated position. So situate your chair so you're able to come into seated. I'm going to lose my little socks. Start with that block between the legs. Remember, we're on the front part of the chair, and make sure you feel balanced in your pelvis, that you're not scooted to one side or the other. You're centered on the chair, and we're looking for a right angle with our legs. Your knees line up with the ankles and the heels. Let's pull in the strength of the belly to lift ourselves up. It's like we're finding that imaginary wall again. You want to be very upright with your body, so you're not leaning forward or crooked in any way. Flip your hands so palms are up. Elbows are squeezing in towards your waist. Take a little pause here to kind of evaluate how you're doing. Eyes closed always helps me. Smoothing out the breath, feeling throughout my body. Anything I need to be aware of, any feelings coming in, any sensations. Hopefully, you're feeling the vitality of this practice and the joy that comes with that. You know, that it revs us up. And I think that's a real natural opening for joy. And exhale completely. But I want you to find our scarecrow, you know, where our bent elbows are extended away from the shoulders, and we've got our palms and fingertips facing down. And then we're just going to create those little L shapes to go from front to back. So our arms are both shaped the same way. And then once you get the hang of the movement, you feel familiar again with that movement. We're turning our head in the direction of the front arm. I want you to slow it way down so the turn of the head is a real felt experience, not past, you know, a drive-by. It's one that you're going to really feel your way into, turning the head to stretch your neck. The hand on the back is really key, pressing that back hand into the back body. Find your own rhythm and find the breath that's associated with that rhythm. Let's hold it now, just whichever one you landed on. Hold it, move around a little bit, really explore the sensation for your neck and your head and your shoulders. Keep breathing, moving. Introduce movement now, so you're stretching into it. Exhale completely. Come back to neutral, switch so you're on the other side, and you're going to do the same thing. Push the back hand into your back body, move your head around. Try to feel the stretch. Just be curious and take good care that you're moving mindfully as you breathe in and out, all the way in, all the way out. Excellent. Let's bring our head back to neutral, our arms back to neutral as well. Take a wider stance now. Heels in, toes out. I'm going to put the block down in the center there as a place to just bring our hands to a place of half lift. I'm going to turn to the side. You don't need to. Here's what I'm getting at. We often bring ourselves to a half lift with our hands on our thighs, and we bring ourselves there. I want you to see if you could just extend your arms and hands down to the block. Still feel that half lift. You're going to kind of pull up so that you feel a little bit of arch of the back body. There's probably a tilt in your pelvis here. Push your feet to the floor like you're making an imprint. Keep one hand on the block, and the block, of course, can move. So as we start doing this and you think, oh, that's not positioned very well, you just do it, you just move it. One hand stays on the block and the other hand wraps around behind you. And again, you're putting your back of your hand into the back body. And so it helps pull that shoulder back. Press that hand back to the back body. One hand is just on the block. Turn your head so your ears, remember how we want to face our ears to the block. Push your feet. Keep breathing. Keep that hand on the block. Let's see if we can slip that other arm back and around and reach toward the ceiling. Put a mitten hand on that. Breathing in, breathing out. Slowly now, let's get both hands back to the block. I'm turning around. You don't have to do a thing. Other hand is going to be on that block. You got to switch to side two. Get your other arm to wrap around behind you. Push that hand into the back body. So you really feel your shoulder pulling back, turning your head with awareness. Find your breath. Let's extend. Full breath in and out. Feel your feet pressing down. Excellent. Both hands on the block. Take a moment here. And then slip that block underneath the chair and use that as a gateway to a forward fold. So your arms are in between your thighs. You're letting your head just drift down, down, down. Breathe into the belly now. Big belly breathing would be perfect. Big belly breaths. You want to feel the movement of the belly here because that's really giving you a fresh blood supply, better circulation in the intestinal tract. That's such good news for your internal organs. Great. Let's get our hands one at a time to the thighs. Let your elbows squeeze in towards your waist. Let's meet in the middle so we're halfway up. Let's work the perineum. Inhale to get the air. Exhale is when you do the work and you pull and lift up through the inner thighs and right into the perineum, lifting off the chair. That's all done on the exhalation. Inhale, you refuel for air. Exhale, work, pulling in and up while you exhale. Focus on this now. Stay with the movement of the perineum, those very deep internal core muscle strength that we get from the Mula Bandha. It's done on the exhalation. Inhale, fuel up, get a lot of breath in. Exhale, squeeze it up. One more. Excellent. When you bring yourself upright, let's swing our arms up. Palms come together. Look up. Inhaling here. Exhale, bow. Inhale up. Exhale, take that big backstroke all the way down. Hands are going to hold on to the chair or not, but holding on is a great way to start anyway. Make sure you're far enough forward on the chair that your legs can easily move. And we're going to just take a hop, alternating legs. You want to lift that leg up and come over. Lift it up and come over. Choose a side, doesn't matter which side, you're going to squeeze those legs together. So your legs are pointing one way, your upper body turns the other way for the twist. Let's use the same strategy, bringing that back arm around behind you, press that into the back of the body. Use the chair if it helps you better than what I've just suggested. So find your best twist with the body very upright. I can always see myself. I got benefit of a camera pointing to me. So I see what I'm doing, but you want to make to the best you're feeling it out that you're holding your spine in a very vertical position while you twist. Include the turn of the head so you can invite the neck for more stretching. Deepen the breath. It's another one good for those organs of digestion. Let's unwind the head first, and then the shoulders will come, and we'll go back to the wider stance. Let's just hop it around a little bit, reviving all of that energy we created. We got to do side 2 now, so bring your legs to the other side. Get your feet as close to the chair as possible, and find your twist, turning your body the other way now. Wrap that back arm around behind you. Hold on to the body or hold on to some part of the chair so you can find your twist, and you're very vertical. You're intentional now that you're balanced in the pelvis. That's kind of a good sign about being upright. If you feel like the both butt cheek, you feel that balance between each side that's a pretty good sign that you're holding yourself pretty upright. Keep squeezing your legs together, and let's deepen the breath. Let's unwind the head and then the shoulders and the arms, and we'll come back to center where we've got more or less hips distance apart. Holding the chair or not, let's get one leg up so we can find that figure 4. Lift it up there and hold it now, pull it in. That knee is bending. You're going to start massaging to set yourself up. Make sure that standing leg is well positioned. You need it for the full support of this figure 4. So be mindful of how you're holding that other leg. Let's start by just holding on to the shin, bringing your elbows into your waist. The drive of this is your chest bone coming forward and back. Let's flex this foot, even spread the toes would be even better. And I've been encouraging lately more movement here. So me turning, you don't need to, coming forward and then actually bringing yourself quite a bit further back than you're accustomed to. So pulling yourself forward and back, a little more rocking action going on in the pelvis. Remember to manage the weight of the head. We always want to be careful we're not causing strain in the neck just because we forgot. So just manage the weight of your head as you're rocking forward and back. Check in with your mouth. We don't want tension there. You're not gritting your teeth. You don't have a real tightness of your tongue. So just soften in the mouth. Good job. And when we come back up, make sure you feel pretty secure with your figure 4. We're going to do some crunching action here. So the hand that's by the side of the bent knee, that can be anywhere, holding onto the chair, kind of holding onto your leg. The other arm is going to come where you've got your fingertips on your shoulder, and we're going to twist so we can bring our elbow to the inner knee. Come back up and twist and fold down. A little crunching action for the abdominals. And it includes the oblique part of your abdominal structure. So that's the sides. Again, the hand that is on the same side of your bent knee, that's however you want. Maybe you're holding onto the chair, or you've got something, a really good plan for yourself here. Know that that's all about your Guru Dave. Couple more, stay with it. Excellent. Let's come back down. Just start to disengage from that. No hands as we bring that foot back to the floor. One more and back to the floor. Any type of movement your body still needs now to readjust. Again, we're our legs are sort of hips distance apart. We got to get side two, so we're going to get that leg to come up on its own, just creating a pattern of movement, creates a range of movement. And we'll get it up there and hold it, bring it in a little bit, give it a little massage, flex this foot, making sure your standing leg is well positioned. Same deal. Catch up with your breath. Good time to do that. Balance in your pelvis. Grabbing hold of the shins, elbows squeeze in, forward and back. The movement comes from your chest bone, not your face. It's the chest bone, and you're pulling back and moving forward. Ananda hum. Something we can just, those kinds of things is that you just start kind of like that rhythm that felt pretty good. It naturally arises. That happens for me all the time. I'll just like start moving, and before I know it, I've got those words going through my mind. Ananda hum, Ananda hum. A couple more. And we'll come back to more of a neutral position. Make sure you're well situated. You still have that figure four. Now the hand that's on the bent knee side, that's going to help you however you determine. Let's get our other hand to touch that shoulder, so we create a little wing here, and then bend into a twist as you bring that elbow to the inner knee. I think a couple more. Good. Let's come back out of that. Release your arms. No hands helping. We'll get it down once. One more time, up and down. Any movement your body needs now. Any kind of movement your body needs. Let's check in. Inhale with me when you're ready. Palms will be together overhead. Exhale, bow at your heart. Inhale up. Exhale is going to be the back bend that opens the heart. Let's just inhale up and open the heart. Palms come together, elbows come together. Let's try a little open and close here. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Moving through the shoulder blades. Open it up, and we have this opportunity to go back into that position of the scarecrow, bringing the bent arms to front and back and turning the head. So you know the rules of the game. You turn your head toward the front arm. I want you to slow it down enough that you really feel the change in position in your neck. Smooth out the breathing to accomplish that. We're not doing this by holding the breath. Last time on each side. Give it one more on each side. We'll find ourselves in that scarecrow, and let's bring our arms slowly, slowly down so we can feel the experience of letting go. What a great way to come into Shavasana, that we feel this experience of letting go. Open and close your hands a little bit. Let's move through the fingers and the wrists. So that might be a little spin of movement through your wrists. Scoop up a leg and move through your ankle. Include the knee. Big hug into the chest, and then we'll go to the other side. Just scoop up your leg, ankle. Find your breathing now. Smooth it out. Starting to settle down into the knee. Hug that knee into the chest. Both feet to the floor. All right. I want you to get your second chair or move into, so we have a little bit more time with our meditation. So I want you to set yourself up, get a second layer if you need to, drink a water, whatever it might be to bring you comfortably into this phase of meditation. Now, we've got to be very comfortable and relaxed if we have for meditation to, be welcomed in our body. That's not something we can do from a really hyped up state. So we're going to start by really turning down the heat and bringing ourselves into much more relaxation. So of course, if you're using just simply the chair, you're scooting back into it. So you're able to really utilize the backrest for support. Your bottom and your thighs are very supported when you do that. You've got yourself all scooted into the chair, so that's great. You do, though, want your feet to the floor. So if pulling yourself back into the backrest foregoes connection with your feet to the floor, see what you can find as a remedy for that, so your feet are grounded in some way. I'm going to do as I sometimes do, and that is to cut off the video for myself. I'm going to be here, of course, but I won't be on the screen. My face won't be on the screen. So you're just now settling into your version of Shavasana, utilizing the props and the support that you have found to be useful. I want you to start now with a particular pranayama. For me, that's a real good start because it's just captures your full attention so your mind can rest as well. And that's the box breath. Inhale, a count of 4. Take a pause for a count of 4. Exhale for 4 and start over. Inhale, 4, pause, exhale, pause. So you're equalizing those components. If a count of 4 doesn't fit for you, you can find one that does. Just equalizing those components of inhale and then pause, exhale, and pause. Stay with that, eyes closed, relaxing into the support that's beneath you. So you really got to stay in tune with your breathing and your counting. And that's useful. That's very useful to help our mind just settle in. Relaxing the body and the mind. And let that just wander for you. If finally, after a time, and I haven't suggested anything different, you just find that breath has sort of left you, that counting, let that be. And just start to notice what you found yourself doing or experiencing. What kind of breath showed up? Maybe you find there is still a pause between the inhale and the exhale. Isn't that interesting? Your body likes that, apparently. Feels natural to you. Relaxing into your breath as it is. We're going to use mantra to help our mind stay focused and allow it to rest alongside our body. Because the mind will wander. So we're going to help it out. Start with the simplicity of inhale and exhale. In other words, in and out. Use the words in and out as a mantra. Softening the belly, feeling your body relaxing more and more into the support that's beneath you. Breathing in and out. Fullness of breath in and out. Soften the mouth, relax your tongue. You're gonna move through body parts now to try to find a full breath as we come into the points in the body that I'll acknowledge. So bringing your awareness to the center of your forehead, let's breathe there, in and out at the center of your forehead. Move that awareness to your throat, like the throat pit, breathing there, in and out. Let's bring that same awareness to your right shoulder, breathing there, in and out. Then the left shoulder. Bring your awareness of the body to the heart center. In other words, the center of your chest bone. Breathe in and out. Next is the navel or the belly button region. Breathe there, in and out. The pubic bone. Breathe in and out. Bring your awareness to your right hip, just the right hip point. In and out. The left hip point. Breathing in and out. Moving your awareness back to the navel. To the pubic bone. To the right hip. Now to the right knee. Breathing in and out. The right ankle. And the sole of your right foot. Let's stay there a moment, breathing both in and out, in and out, resting awareness on the sole of the right foot. We're back to the ankle. That right ankle has our awareness, breathing in and out. Right knee, the right hip point. Back to the pubic bone in the center of the pelvis. In and out. And moving now to the left hip point. And we'll move to the left knee, breathing in and out. The awareness moves to the ankle, that left ankle, breathing in, breathing out. And the sole of your left foot. Let's be there a moment as we breathe both in and out at the sole of our left foot. Let's come back to the ankle, the left knee, breathing in and out at the left hip point. Let's come back to the navel in the center of the belly. And all the way to the throat pit, to the center of the forehead, breathing in and out. And finally to the crown of the head. Let your breath naturally flow now, aware of the space that surrounds your head. That you are breathing in from the space around you and out again into it. So you now have some awareness, not only of your body from the inside out, but also the space that surrounds your body. Breathing in from that space and out again into it, as we always do. Feel again the surface that's supporting you. Be aware of that with appreciation. The support you've been given right now and how that has helped you to rest, body, mind, and soul. If your mind starts to wander, which it very well may, use a mantra. As you listen to my voice, that's another connecting point. Listening, breathing. Now, I invite you to turn the corners of your mouth up into a little smile. And notice how that movement of your facial muscles into a smile changes how you feel. And let that smile stay maybe like that little smile we began with, or maybe it broadens into something much bigger. This is for you. It's for you and it's about you. Feeling the joy that something as simple as turning the corners of your mouth can provide. Be sure to breathe all the way out every time. Smile any amount. We're going to start introducing movement into the body. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale it out of the mouth with a big sigh. Ah. And as you do that kind of cleansing breath, start to move, getting your feet back to the floor, bringing yourself back to a place of right alignment in the body. With big cleansing breaths to help, and the sound of the sigh. Ah. Gently open your eyes if you haven't done that yet. Find that smile. Let's sync up our breath. Inhale with me, palms together overhead. Exhale, bow at your own heart. Inhale, back up. Exhale, let's share the joy. Let's share that joy with our community. Hands come back to the prayer position. We bow to ourselves. We bow to one another. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for joining me.